everybody, this is Ryan 18 on the Ryan 18 Forever channel, and today I am here with the man himself.
Hey everybody, Raven from Up Triforce here.
And in this video, we're ringing out our last video of the year, and we're going to do it with the top 10 highs and lows of the WWE of 2011. So, Raymond, why don't you start off?
Alright, what are we starting with, the highs or the lows here, buddy?
It can be highs, lows, it doesn't matter, my person.
Let's start with the highs. This year, Rey Mysterio claimed his first WWE title. And also, Sin Cara broke Hunico's arm with La Mística in Mexico. Yes, and he unmasked Hunico, finally taking his spot back as Sin Cara. Místico did La Mística. Awesome! And Mark Henry versus Big Show. Big Show got suplexed off the top rope, thus breaking the entire ring. Brock Lesnar, eat your heart out. What else? I think that's pretty much it for me, man. What about you?
Alright, so here's a high. We're really going into the beginning of summer. Alright, so we have CM Punk cutting this epic promo. That was a very good high. It actually caused a lot of controversy. You know, people from ESPN and other news stations were talking about this promo, and this promo was very scripted. It wasn't scripted, of course, but it was very detailed, and I think it was CM Punk's personal words towards the company. And of course, he wanted his ice cream bars and all that stuff. But yeah, so that epic promo really was a very good high for 2011. This is kind of a high and a low, but CM Punk walking out of Chicago, Illinois as champion. The high was that CM Punk won the match, but the low was that he left the company. But then he came back a few weeks later, but you know what I'm saying. So, another high is that, I guess you can consider this a high if you're a Daniel Bryan fan. You know, Daniel Bryan is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, I'd count that as a high for me too. That's a high. I mean, Daniel Bryan is a World Heavyweight Champion. I do like Daniel Bryan when he wants to kick a lot of ass, but sometimes he just kind of bugs me.
A very low in 2011 is how can I even say this? Christian's 2-day title reign.
Okay, that's a low? Really? I'll give you a low. How about Rey Mysterio's 2-hour title reign?
Yes, that was a low, but you have to realize, Raymond, that you know, their poster boys, Cena had to win the title, so you know how it is.
Yeah,
World of
but it was a high when he won it. When I saw him fiend off Alberto Del Rio to keep that title in his clutches, I was so happy. And then Cena had to ruin it. But then again, another low for this year. There's been a lot of lows for Sin Cara, because this year we had lost him due to the wellness policy. And he was wearing that white attire. When he got powerbombed by Sheamus and was out for 30 days, I didn't get to see him at SummerSlam because of it. Then he came back. There was a high. He gave us a lot of good matches. Del Rio versus Sin Cara was awesome. That that DDT he did and that Hurricane Rana he did was awesome. And then we got the lows again, where now he's out for till WrestleMania time. Oh, but that's the high. He's coming back at WrestleMania. He's coming back at WrestleMania. Yeah. But he's still got the tendon issue, so that's a low. And he was wearing the white attire. He should burn that.
Yeah. And then possibly the biggest high of the year returning on Valentine's Day. The Rock returning, cutting the epic promo. Again, another epic promo for 2011. Bashing John Cena and saying that he's back and never leaving again. Of course, he's left because if he's doing G.I. Joe now, so whatever. It's what The Rock wants to do. Let him do it. But a low for the year. This is wrestling world. This is not really WWE, but the late great Macho Man Randy Savage passing away. That was a very low thing in the world of wrestling. If you can ask Raymond, I'm a big Macho Man Randy Savage fan. I mean, I've shown him my collection, my Macho Man, everything.
Ooh, yeah.
But at least, I can share the memories because, I have his DVD, so I can always watch some classic Macho Man Randy Savage matches. And obviously, everyone remembers WrestleMania 3 against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He may not have won the match, but it was still a hell of a match. Put out by two of the great wrestlers at that time.
That Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, he's got his 1 cup of coffee at the big time, yeah! I remember Randy Man Macho Savage, yes. He had great promos. I mainly remember him for his promos. I don't really know his wrestling, but his promos made me laugh. And that's what I liked about him. He made me laugh. He's a funny, funny, funny guy. And it's sad that when I saw that he died, I wanted to cry. I mean, that man was so funny. And I miss him.
'Cause I am the cream of the crop.
Dig it!
Another low for the year is Edge retiring. It's been talked about by the widest title everywhere about Edge retiring, and at first I thought it was maybe it's a storyline, maybe it's just for him to take some time off over an injury that he suffered, like maybe his Achilles tendon got re-injured or something. But no, it was actually a neck injury that he suffered back in 03. Actually came back and was hurting him, and it was either that or he'd be either in a wheelchair. So, yeah. So, Edge firing very low for SmackDown as well because Edge really held SmackDown alive. So, I'm going to miss you, Edge. Radar superstar.
Another low for 2011 was... There's a lot of lows for... 2011 just has a big black cloud over wrestling. And another one is Rey Mysterio being out until March due to get a knee replacement. That hurts. I mean, first, Rey Mysterio is gone, and then Sin Cara snapped his tendon trying to hop over the rope. It's hard to watch wrestling without my two heroes in that ring. It's hard. Very hard.
I guess another high for the year is that Del Rio actually had a very good year. He won the Royal Rumble, main evented WrestleMania, and won Money in the Bank. So a year for Alberto Del Rio, cashed in his Money in the Bank to win the WWE Championship for the first time, is now a 2-time WWE Champion in 2011. So I guess that's a high for Del Rio fans, but if it's a low, then it's a low for the non-Del Rio fans.
Well, I do like Del Rio, and another high for 2011. I'm wearing the mask for it right now. Mil Mascaras being inducted in the 2012. It's going to be 12, right? 2012 Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
2012 Hall of Fame. Well, I don't know if that counts for... Does that count for a high for this year? Because it was announced this year. That counts for a high for this year, right? Okay. High for this year. Woo! Mil Mascaras. The man of 1,000 masks. The uncle of Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio, thank you so much. This is such an honor for a great man who deserves it. Mil Mascaras.
And possibly another good high for the year is Kane returning with the mask. 2 weeks ago, Kane with the mask back in the day, he was very a dominating superstar with that mask. I know a mask doesn't make a person great, but apparently with Kane and superstars like Rey Mysterio, Mystico, or Sin Cara, Real Mascaras, made them what they are today. So, I think Kane's going to be very dominant coming into 2012. Of course, he's probably going to be feuding with John Cena. Go for a championship run. So we'll see what happens with now. So that's a good high for the year. Anything else,
Another high for the year was seeing the Big Show win the title, and then the low would be him losing it 20 seconds later.
Yeah. To end a 9-year drought, I mean, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really a drought anymore. I mean, he won it.
But then Mark Henry's coward ways helped Daniel Bryan become the new champion, which is great for, again, D. Bryan fans. So,
Yeah, I do like Daniel Bryan, but I only like him when he kicks a lot of ass. I like him when he gets pissed off. Like, when he gets pissed off, that's when I like Daniel Bryan.
Another high or low for the year is the return of two, WCW wrestlers, of course, WWE wrestlers, of course, and both TNA wrestlers is Booker T and Kevin Nash returning at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Another high would be Booker T wrestling again to face Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, so that was a high, even though he lost at TLC, but now he gets a chance next week on Friday Night SmackDown, so we'll see if he can pull it off in 2012.
Another high would have to be R-Truth turning heel. This fit. This was awesome. This R-Truth with the little Jimmy, yes, it fits. I love it, love it, love it. A low would be, I'm trying to get this mask off. Ryan, you want to take the reins here while I get this off?
Yeah, R-Truth, turning heel, as we all know, he used to be always a good guy, and, he's dancing around with the fans, have a good time. But now, going into this heel character, with the little Jimmy gimmick, if you want to call it, or like a phrase, really helped him, and he actually made it into the main event. To face John Cena at Capital Punishment, fell shy, but still, he was still the main event. So at least it really pushed him, and then really elevated his career in a sense.
Yep, tag teaming with The Miz, but then the wellness policy fell upon him, and he was out for 30 days. Miz had to write him off by giving him the skull-crushing finale onto the grid of the stage. Then we were getting the low of having to hear him turn face. That was also a low, him being written off. But then the low of having him turn face. But then it turned into a high because he's still crazy. He's still messed up in the head. But he's a face. I can deal with that. Ryan, what do you think about him being face right now, still with the little Jimmy, talking to little Jimmy and all that?
Well, we don't know if he's actually face. I mean, he could still be a heel, but then again, it would make sense. I mean, he did come back with kind of the old R-Truth theme song when he came back, so...
No, he still came out with...
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. Let's see, let's see. I think that's, basically it. I guess,
Well, Brock Lesnar retiring from UFC.
A high for the year was the great match between Undertaker and Triple H at WrestleMania. I mean, that was a great match. I mean, Triple H pulling off with that tombstone and doing everything Undertaker style. I mean, it was...
Oh, here's a high that wasn't recorded. Well, it was, but it wasn't recorded live on television. That was Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara at a live event. Anybody want to see that? There will be a link in the description box. It was awesome.
Alright, so I think this should be it for 2011. If there's anything else, Raymond, you can say it right now. Anything that comes to mind?
It Begins.
The It Begins promo, I want to say it's Chris Jericho, but you never know, so we'll find out this Monday, so make sure you tune in to Monday Night Raw to check that out. And I think that's basically it. I mean, I think we covered